And to me, what I actually expected the president to even do, for me to take him seriously, was for him to come and say, look, I'm even going to try and talk to the Chief Justice so that we can have special courts, which are particularly going to be dealing with issues pertaining to these particular events. Number two, the events that took place last year, June, especially after the Gen Z's demonstrations and the abductions and the killings which took place, I would like to know exactly what the conclusion is. The parents of these children want to know. Kenyans want to know. It's not something that you're just going to lightly just comment. In fact, when I saw the president talk, I thought this was something that was generated by AI. Because he just said, you know, this thing, I'm aware that people have been being abducted, so I've said it has to stop and it will never happen again. What is he saying? To me, what is it that the president is actually saying? Is he saying that we are going to have proper investigations? Is he saying that the police officers and ceremonial who are killing people will be taken to court and they will face the law? Is he saying that justice will be served? So these are issues, even when I really feel comfortable that he has owned up. I really want him, and many Kenyans want him, to own up, make sure that we have restorative justice, make sure that the individuals whose rights have been vilipened. And you see the complexity that we have now is that we're in this broad-based government. And the people, some of them who are being killed, were being killed when we are demonstrating against the KK government. So these complex issues, I feel that the leadership should sit down and agree that this matter is resolved once and for all, and it must never happen again. Okay, and responsibility, as you had questioned on the part of the head of state, equally there is a responsibility on your part as a parliamentarian. Yes. When the TJRC report was presented before Parliament, you were then a member of the National Assembly. It's true. Why did Parliament then shelve that very pertinent report which had documented historical injustices in Kenya? Thank you. As you're coming to this issue, I refer to you what I've said on this floor, this house, this station, over and over and over. The moment you have your parliament being overtaken, being controlled, being usurped by the executive, all right, I've said here very many times, Ayub, we have been in that parliament, and there are times when the very sensitive, critical issues need to be interrogated by members of the National Assembly, members of the Senate. Most of the time, those things are just pushed aside. We are as culpable and as responsible as everybody else who has never done anything to make sure that this issue doesn't occur again. We are as culpable, as responsible as the people who have been given the responsibility within the law to make sure that this country is governed well, and it hasn't been governed well. So I'm saying that yes, the report has come out, and yes, I can take the issue or anybody else and talk about how the presidency, whether it is President Ruto's presidency or President Uhuru's presidency, as Kenyans, we have refused to face those things that are what I call our dirty linen. We've always pushed them to the side. We've always kind of pushed them under the rug and moved on like nothing happened. Okay. My honest feeling is that we need to look at these issues now and conclusively sort them out with restorative justice to make sure that those who've been harmed, who have been killed, who've been violated are compensated, and then make sure that it is agreed within the Kenyan political elite and the Kenyan psyche that human rights abuses and violations must never be allowed to happen in our country again. Council, I'll come to you after the break. And you belong to the alternative, so we'll take a look at and examine what the alternative will offer given the blanket failure that you said is on the part of those who are within the governance space in Kenya. The hashtag on X is Citizen Daybreak. The SMS code is 22422 at Citizen TV Kenya and at Ayub Abdikadir. When we get back from the break, we examine then what the alternative will offer for the Kenyan people and the voices of young Kenyans, in effect, to how they can shape the outcome of the election in 2000.